According to Kotaku, a new, definitely not bad Street Fighter movie gets a release date, and I just thought that was funny. We did just review the old Street Fighter the movie, which
Oh,
was
yeah. I
really
remember.
bad, but really good. It was so bad, but yeah. Apparently, Capcom has not given up on the idea of a cinematic Street Fighter franchise, and if
Mhm.
it's as bad as the old one, I say let's bring it. Um, yeah, so I guess it's
But they said it's not going to be bad, so
oh
that's
yeah, no,
good.
yeah, they're like, oh yeah, it's definitely not gonna be bad. Like it's very tongue in cheek what the Kotaku's doing here.
Hmm.
What you would call it? Yeah, so apparently it is Capcom and Legendary, and it's set for release in 2026. So like,
Mm. Pretty
hopefully,
soon.
yeah, well, 2 years. Um, yeah, it's definitely gonna be like it's gonna be right around the corner before we know it. But let me
Yeah.
ask you this: Did you a know that there was a solo Chun Li movie, and B, did you watch it?
A, no. B, no.
Yeah, because that was when I was reading the article. It's just like one of those like things in the back of my head where I'm like, oh yeah, that was a thing. I do remember that was a thing. I think it starred Chris.
With the same person from the
No,
original
no,
one? They did a
yeah,
spin-off?
definitely not.
Okay.
I think this one starred Kristen Crook, Kristen
Oh,
Crook.
from Smallville?
Yeah, from Smallville. I
Dude,
think.
I love her. She's so
Yeah, no, she's
pretty.
great. Yeah, Lana Lang. I think I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. I've been butchering names all day,
Hmm.
but yeah,
Probably.
I am trying here. I wasn't like you with the French name earlier. I'm trying.
But that's what they call him, Pepe Le Pew. That's his name.
There's a reason he is canceled as a cartoon character now.
Oh, he's canceled? Oh,
Yeah,
he was because of that perviness, and I
yeah, the
think it was
perfect.
like
That's definitely
steroid.
not the
Oh, okay.
name, not the name aspect.
It's weird. You see these things when you're a kid, and it goes unrecognized until you get older. And I guess people say these things, and you're like,
Well, yeah,
"Oh
because
yeah, it
like
is kind of."
people speak up on their on like traumas and stuff like that, and it's like,
Okay,
oh yeah, that's
yeah,
definitely not okay. And here we are celebrating it. Here I have a stuffed animal of this fucking perv. Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I
So I
digress. That's
shouldn't
a
drop
whole
an anvil
different.
on people. That makes sense. That makes sense.
That's a whole different conversation. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this definitely out of left field announcement that there's a new Street Fighter movie coming out?
Well, I would say it's definitely out of left field. I mean, video remakes are right now the new frontier as opposed to like
Okay,
comic
that's
book
fair. Very
adaptations.
fair.
Yeah, so it's kind of we had Last of Us, which is great, and I think when we reviewed Last of Us, we said we hit a new time where these things are actually watchable and good. Because
Yeah,
when we watched the original Street Fighter, it was great in the fact that how bad it was. That's
yeah,
what
we
made it
knew that it
great.
was bad going in.
Yeah, and then like yeah, it just I think they've been doing a decent job with, I mean, decent to good. That's been the scale of what I've seen so far from Sonic to Super Mario Bros. To Last of Us. I mean, so far it's been, it's been it's it's at least watchable, because a lot of times there are a lot of cringy moments in the old '90s video game adaptations
Yeah,
from like, so it just kind of it'd be fun to see like with newer, I don't know, like that's been going on. It's I do have higher hopes for this one around.
yeah, and then we did
And I
have
kind of measure it
the.
to
No, go on.
oh no, I kind of measure it to like the newer Mortal Kombat because the '90s
That's
Mortal Kombat,
exactly what I was gonna say right now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can go ahead and take the thunder from me because
No, no, I was just
I
gonna
don't.
say like yeah, yeah. We did have like the infinitely better Mortal Kombat. In my opinion, it was a better Mortal Kombat than the old one. The old one has a special place in my
I
heart because
disagree. I
eh,
disagree.
okay. I mean, because
I
like
didn't. I
they
thought
were.
that Cole. I thought that Cole character was
That's
so.
what I was gonna say.
I'm
Cole.
like,
They could have done
why
without
him?
Cole for sure.
Yeah.
Unnecessary character, and he was a protagonist. That, but like the movie overall, I found it like pretty entertaining.
Hmm.
Um, and there's only like you can only go up from there, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like yeah, and I guess I did. Yeah, I'll call myself out. I was wrong. Cause like even as I was saying, I'm like, no, I do prefer the '94 Mortal Kombat better.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
mean,
no, I
if
was
we talk about
wrong.
the sequel to the '94, what's the other
Annihilation.
one called? Yeah, that one. That one
Yeah,
that was
I
horrible.
didn't like that
But
one.
like, yeah, but the first one was
Okay,
for
yeah,
what it was during a time of bad video game adaptations. That one was like really good.
yeah.
To be honest, I think it stands the test of time kind of now, but
I wouldn't go
I
that
think
far either.
okay, fine. I mean, like I said, Last of Us, just take it out of your mind that standard. If you lower your standards just a bit, it's a good movie for what it
It
was.
has Mortal Kombat characters.
Yeah, and still that soundtrack was awesome.
The soundtrack was peak '90s right there, man. I swear to God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
like I said, yeah, it's they've been doing a better job with a lot of these movies, and I think well, what the newer Mortal Kombat did better with what I was gonna say earlier, they kind of understood the game better because they
mhm.
added that gore element to
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
which the
yeah.
'90s version didn't have, and that's technically that's what Mortal Kombat is. It's just like
Yeah, I'm sure with
finish him. It's such a like a famous
yeah with the '90s one, I
yeah
think they were trying to because like definitely even back then video games had like this stigma where it's like oh it's for kids, and even now you'll
yeah
hear that most like a lot of the times from like people that don't know shit. It's like, oh, video games are for kids. For kids, like, yeah, no. Well, those kids are growing up, and it's like definitely adults, and it's always been for like people of all ages. It's just like always has like had the stigma because like Mortal Kombat, for example, that one was rated mature because it had like blood, gore, definitely not meant for kids. But the fact that it was a video game, I think studios back then had that mentality where it's like, all right, well, we need to reach like as much of the audience as possible, and I think that's why it lacked a lot of the gore or anything that we would have like seen if they like stuck with the like all right you know what even PG-13 and above it's like we don't need it to be rated R but we just it's like the heart of Mortal Kombat is like the gory cheesiness so there is a part of me like a small part of me that hopes that this movie's really bad like even in this renaissance of like beautiful great video game adaptations.
hmm
I'm kind of hoping that this one's bad, and I feel bad for it because, like, I want these franchises to succeed so we get more of this stuff. But,
hmm
um, what if it doesn't? And what if we get like a spiritual successor to the '90s Street Fighter? That'd be great, in my
you know.
opinion.
To be honest, it'd be a win either way. If it
Yeah.
succeeds, if it's a great Street Fighter, we win. If it's a bad one, it's just like, yeah, I remember one. It'd be more reminiscent of the '90s, so I guess it's a win-win for us anyway.
Yeah, I
I
was just like
mean,
reading
as
that.
long as they don't introduce another character like Cole, they're fine.
I mean, they could introduce a character like Cole and just kill them off. Use a fatality,
Yeah,
use
but Street Fighter's not known for
no,
fatalities.
no,
They
I
don't
know, no.
maybe
Yeah,
like
that's what
yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. The equivalent to like just
yeah,
kill this character off, which I'm
yeah, yeah.
sure the newest Mortal Kombat is probably gonna do. Just either
hmm
ignore Cole or for continuity purposes, just kill him off. Just like they killed off Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. They killed him off like in
Oh
the beginning of the movie.
yeah.
It's like why? Like my boy Johnny.